My name is Alfredo Camerotti. I'm the president of IKT. IKT is the International Association of Curators of Contemporary Art, which is a worldwide network of about 500 registered members, working with museums, galleries, institutions, festivals, biennials, etc. We are hosting here actually the 2023 Congress in North Wales. So we're spending basically 3 days meeting, having a members forum, having a general assembly, board meeting, and then some visits to different institutions in North Wales, in Llandudno, in Bangor, where we do a symposium on arts and advanced technology, and in Wrexham to visit artist studios and institutions there.
I'm a new member of IKT, and so it's my first Congress and first time meeting other colleagues and other independent curators. And it's been hugely rewarding and really exciting to understand that some of the thoughts and some of the research that I'm doing is also existing in other platforms for engagement. So they might be having other outputs for their research, but ultimately we want to tease out the same stories and we want to engage a wider audience and offer a platform for artists to be part of these conversations.
So it's been great being where we're at now, Pericolo, and the space is really wonderful, and it's just great to see a spot for artists to have studios that are really accessible, and it seems like there's a lot of kind of really cool emerging artwork coming out of this space.
It's wonderful that we've got back to this being something that we are able to do annually to meet in person, but also that the IKT has become so much more proactive in terms of the platforms that it's trying to provide for its members.
The highlights so far for me, it has been actually the tremendous participation we had from members all around the world, literally from Canada to Mexico to Russia to Norway to Asia and the rest of Europe as well. But it just demonstrates the willingness to work together, to share information, to build the know-how in terms of the curatorial profession.
Being with these artists in their studios, everything's all about language and how some of the language is either realived itself or it's dead now and in their world. And so that to me has been really helpful in understanding obviously the culture here, but also connecting what my artwork is to theirs as well.
That did seem to be a theme, language, and I have to say this probably is my highlight as well, just because it was great chatting with all the artists and they had zines, so that always wins me over.
It's a great pleasure to see all those colleagues again in person and to be able to have conversations with them, and also to attend the studios of artists who live in this region and see people working on the ground in places that aren't the place where we live, and they don't necessarily have to be huge, big international cities.
It's been these nuanced little conversations that have been the highlight, really. I am looking forward to tomorrow because it's digital and I work in digital. So I'm really interested in hearing what will be said, but I still think I'll stick to it's the sidebar conversations that I'm having.
So today we were speaking a little bit about our backgrounds and our rules for creating art and technology, as well as how we put those rules into practice with 3 of our past works. I hope that through our presentation people got a little bit more of an idea of some of the work that's happening in digital art that they might not hear about in headlines or newspapers or viral stories about digital art, but also to understand the variety of kinds of work that are being made and also the different values that are going into how artists are working with technology. So rather than assuming that all digital art is one thing or cares about the size of a screen or geometry, to understand so many different ways that artists work with technology, including bringing in the body and sensuality and alternative kinds of values. So to just, I guess, shed light on those different ways of working with technology that they might not hear about elsewhere.
And I think the symposium this afternoon has been really great in helping us to start a conversation about our relationship to AI in art, but also a great sort of camaraderie in the discussion. And it has been a lot of fun. And I find it a really informative event every time that I'm able to go to the annual Congress. And I'm really excited at how IKT is beginning to create new platforms and help us as curators to build other kinds of relationships with each other and to have other means of communicating across the web and so on.
The most important takeaway is that it can be a very isolating experience doing your research as a curator, and I'm lucky enough to be in a research position with the university, so I have colleagues that I can speak to. But I think that idea of researching and being alone in that process, to know that there are other people, and I feel like that's another takeaway, that I will have people that I can reach out to and just scratch heads with and say, oh God, this is overwhelming, or hey, I think I might have a small solution that might help with your work, and to have those conversations.
The personal presence of members is really super important. I mean, obviously we went all through the 3 years of the pandemic where travel was not possible, so we did a lot of things online, and we learned actually to make things online, to actually realize projects and to construct our career and to reach out to people completely online and making things happen nevertheless. And we integrated some of those lessons, let's say, and experiments into our everyday activities, and we do also as a curators. But to be able to actually visit places in real life and to actually have this exchange in person, also through body movements and body signal, it's super important. And I would say, to me, the digital is an expansion of reality, is not a replacement for it, so we have to take care of the physical as well.